So this means in every business, in every career, in every calendar, every schedule, every list of text messages, every stack of emails, 1% of what is there controls 50% of all the outcomes. Okay, so that means you can ignore 90% of what goes on. And if you pick the right 10% to concentrate on, you'll get more done than you would ever accomplish if you tried to pay attention to all of it. So, most people treat their customers like they're all equal. Like, you know, all those guys there. But this is the reality of customers, that one guy is important as 2 of these guys, which is important as 4 of these, which is important as 8 of these, which is important as 16 of these. This is how customers actually are. So if you're treating everybody equally, you're leaving all kinds of money on the table. So 80-20 applies to revenue, time vampires, people that like clamp down on your neck and suck your time. Okay? Insurance claims, size of claims, disputes, breaking of laws. 20% of the criminals break 80% of the laws. The expense of acquiring customers, days hospitalized, size of clients, cost of prescriptions, time spent on a website, emails, phone calls, all this stuff. It's all 80-20. Now, you've all seen this, right? You're in school, you see these bell curves. And so everybody takes a test and the average is 77%. This is the wrong thing to look at. It's totally the wrong thing to look at. Because what's average almost never matters. The average doesn't matter. Let me show you what matters. Let's take this. So 100 kids took a science test, and the bell curve distribution, the average was 77%. That doesn't tell you what you need to know. This is what you need to know. 100 kids took a science test. This is how good they all are in science. Okay? It looks like this. So, there's all these people. Most of the people that took the science test, they have a moderate ability to do science. Okay? And the best one has more science horsepower than the bottom 80 combined. And if you're trying to guess who's going to be a Nobel Prize winner, or who's going to make some big discovery, or who's going to invent something, it's like one of these 2 or 3 people right here. And you can ignore everybody else. If you put 80-20 on a graph, this is what it looks like. And this curve, it zooms up so fast, it never touches the right side. It's an asymptote, but it goes up, 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 super fast. Okay, so that's the 80-20 squared, the 80-20 cubed at the far extreme. Now let me show you how accurate this is. So this is what I call the 80-20 curve, and I have a website, 8020curve.com, where you can plug in numbers. So here's what I did. I said, let's say you read in the newspaper that Southwest Airlines is the number 171 company in the Fortune 500, and they're doing $13 billion of sales. You can use 80-20 to predict the size of every other company in the Fortune 500. Let me show you how accurate it is. So that yellow mark is number 171, and this here is $13 billion. Okay? So, and this is the theoretical 80-20 curve. This is the actual. So you see this yellow line? It's kind of squiggly, and you see the white one? This is the actual revenues of the Fortune 500. So if you know the revenue of one company in the Fortune 500, you can predict how big is number 5, number 10, number 30, number 50, number 100, and you'll be right within about 15%. This is also true of the size of files in your hard drive. it's also true of grains of sand in a bucket of sand. This will be true. It's true all over economics. It's true all over banking. It's true everywhere. So this is like the biggest simplification that I've ever seen. This is the Forbes 400 on a 70-30 curve. By the way, 80-20, it's the 80 and the 20 are not a rigid law. Sometimes it's 70-30, sometimes it's 90-10. And I won't go into why that is, but there's always this symmetrical inequality. This is the population of cities in the US. This is donations to a church on a Sunday morning. This is the dairy output of 38 counties in Wisconsin. Okay, it's everywhere. It's all around you all the time.